Hi, this is Mrs. Clark, and welcome to my video on Slope Dude and an overview of slope in general. So, you already watched the Slope Dude video. If you have not yet watched it, you need to go watch it before watching this video, or this first part isn't going to make a lot of sense. Slope Dude is one of my absolute favorite videos to watch. It is super boring, but it is hilarious. So I really hope you enjoyed it while you are watching it, and it does give a really good visual for the different kinds of slope that we see. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to recreate that graph that you saw in the Slope Dude video, The Amazing Adventures of Slope Dude. So we're going to draw something that looks a little bit like this. This should look familiar from the video. And I will try to do the video justice while going over this, just to make sure that we got everything out of that little snapshot. So here we have our Slope Dude graph. And so we're supposed to imagine this as a ski slope. And we talked about the 4 different types of graphs, or in Slope Dude they talk about it. So we talk about going up the incline. Anytime we're increasing like this, it is puff puff positive. So I'm going to put a plus here to remind us of that. When we're going down the slope, it is nice negative because it's an easy ride down the slope. Put a minus sign here to show us a negative slope. And when we have this flat area, what did he say? He said this is 0 fun. So I'm going to put a 0 here to remind us. And then here we had the most awful curse word ever imagined in math. Undefined. I told you I would do it as much justice as I could. Okay, so we have our 4 different types of slopes. We have positive slope, negative slope, 0 slope, and undefined slope. So if you can remember this graph, you will be able to remember all the different types of slope that you need when you're looking at a graph. Alright, so we're going to put a little note at the bottom here, actually, before we get started with what I want to put in the middle. But we need to remember something that is really important. We need to remember that we always need to read our graphs from left to right. So always read a graph from left to right. Because that's the only way this is going to work. This puff puff positive goes this way. And this nice negative will go from left to right. 0 fun could go either direction, but always look left to right, and then undefined vertical. So if we're looking at this plus sign, this is to remind us about an increasing line. When we have a positive slope, it'll look like this. It'll be increasing. And when we look at increasing, we look from left to right. And the way that we see that when we're looking at our ratio of our change in y over change in x is we see a rise up over a run right. Rise up, run right gives us this increasing line. When I have a negative slope, I have a decreasing line. When I look left to right, it's going down. So that's decreasing. And that happens when I see a ratio that looks like this. Our change in y is a fall down, because it's bad to fall down, over a run right. So when I fall down, that's a negative thing, so it's decreasing or a negative slope. So that's a negative slope. When I'm falling down and running to the right. So notice both of the bottoms say run to the right. That's because I read a graph from left to right. So I'm always going to run to the right. So I'm either rising up and to the right or falling down and to the right. When I'm rising up, it's a positive slope. When I'm falling down and running to the right, it's a negative slope. So increasing and decreasing are words we can use to describe these types of slopes. Okay, you can go ahead and glue that into your notebook and move on to the next thing. Thanks for watching.